Reverb Experiment, episode number 66.
We out here.
We out here. First and foremost, man, we got to give ourselves a round of applause, man.
Yeah, loud round of applause.
So look, so we reached our goal. 500 subscribers on YouTube. We thank the YouTube community.
Yes.
We thank y'all.
All the people that be liking, sharing, commenting.
We appreciate y'all. Keep on doing so. We want to keep growing. Obviously, we are listener supported podcast. So if you guys can donate too, but if you cannot donate, liking, subscribing, and commenting is another way to help us support and grow and help out the algorithm. We also have reached 10,000 audio streams.
Man.
Crazy.
Insane.
Crazy. Reach all different countries, China, Germany, Australia. Crazy.
You know what's funny is my mom was telling me, I was on TikTok and I was like, man, they speaking some truth. She was like, oh, that's Stef. That's Stef and her friend.
Yeah, it is. We out here. We about to be household names in a minute.
Like, how you don't recognize your own daughter?
Hey, I be walking out in public, man. People like, oh, man, I'll be checking out the pod. I'm like, what? And at that wedding, too, people came up to me. So it was dope.
Yeah.
Man, what other accomplishments have we reached, man? I think those are the big ones, man.
That's the biggest one.
10,000 streams all time and 500 subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000. So we want to appreciate y'all. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we want to thank y'all for what y'all have been holding us down. 21,000 in the Reverb Nation.
Man.
We gonna start going live too, man. I've been saying that, but I'm gonna have a little bit more time on my hand. I think we need to get some more fan interaction. Cause I know y'all want to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
But if you can't get involved in the conversation on the live, you can definitely hop in the Reverb Nation or on the Reverb page on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok. And we do comment back.
Oh yeah, I be in there tussling.
Yeah, I'll be in the
I be
comments.
trying to keep it cute because I'm like, I don't want people to be like, I don't like her. But
I don't give a damn. Y'all already know. So speaking of Thanksgiving, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
You know, it was lit. I ain't gonna lie, this is my first sober Thanksgiving in a long time. And for me, like, I feel like we a lot of times correlate celebrating with always having alcohol. So when I said like, oh, I'm not drinking, I didn't realize it was gonna be that hard during the holidays. I'm like, dang, I don't even drink like that. But since you drink, socially and for fun, it was like, this is different. Everybody else is drinking and I'm not.
Yeah.
But it was still cool. Like, it was good to see, like, I have fun, and I don't know. I think it's just being thankful for family and being thankful for new beginnings, new ventures, just doing things differently.
Yeah, I think that's dope. Shout out to the sober Thanksgiving, man. Shout out to the sober Thanksgiving.
And I wanted some wine bad. I ain't gonna lie, but I was like, no, you good. You good.
And shout out to D-Lo, man. Happy birthday, D-Lo.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
His birthday was yesterday. We turned up. Well, I didn't. But they turned up.
You were the DD.
The DD, but that was cool.
Shout out to the DD.
That's usually not me. If my friends know, y'all know, when that Don Julio pop out, I'm ready. But I was like, nah, I'm chilling.
Nah, man. Shout out to D-Lo, man. I want to just give him a shout out. Happy birthday. He's one of our biggest supporters. Always has been, always will be.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. So day one for sure. I think Thanksgiving was cool. It was more quiet this year.
Same.
It was quiet,
Same.
but it was a good quiet. I got to relax. We ate good food, spent time with family. So there was no drama. So it was good.
That's
I got Thursday, Friday off.
Man. I don't know how people be working on holidays. Shout out to the people that work on the holidays.
Man, shout out to y'all, man. I used to be in that camp. I used to be working on Black Friday and on Thanksgiving.
Man.
It's all bad.
Hey, that's one thing I do want to say. I seen a post that said the Black Friday deals wasn't black enough.
Black Friday is dead.
Like, what's up? It's gone. I'm like, ain't no deals.
Too much capitalism. For one, like they keep pushing back the deals.
Yeah.
So like you were getting like, now they do Black Friday in July or June. And then they started doing like the Black Friday deals like a week early. Like you can tell that retail is like on their last leg.
I was really shocked. Even Cyber Monday really wasn't hitting.
Cyber Monday wasn't. And plus people broke. That's the other thing.
You know what?
That's what it is.
Somebody was like, y'all need to put the Black Friday deals need to be on groceries. Black Friday, that gas.
And gas, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Put it on gas. Now, people broke. People just don't got no extra money.
Man, I was
Christmas going to be looking a little bit different this year, too. So
I didn't buy nothing. I was shocked.
Usually, I'll start my Christmas shopping Black Friday because there'll be
you'll see some good deals and stuff.
I didn't really see nothing. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, there was videos.
It's gonna be a chill Christmas for me.
There was videos of people in Target, Best Buy, in the mall, and it was dead. Nobody was in there, and I'm just like, that just shows you where the economy is right now. People
you also
struggling.
can get the Black Friday deals online now too. But
that could be it.
I didn't really see nothing that just really caught my eye like that.
Nah, and I think people are starting to really get to see what the Amazon effect is, because I know a lot of people that say, "Oh yeah, I ordered my TV off of Amazon."
Honestly, when I was looking at the Black Friday deals, the one thing I did order was on Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people with the pandemic, not with wanting to be in public, not wanting to be around, people are really like going the online shopping route.
Absolutely. I've been on that hype.
Yeah, man, I don't know what these, man, you're going to start seeing, I'm going to say this on this pod, it's already been happening. It's not like it's like a bold prediction, but malls are a thing of the past.
I was just
big box retail is a thing of the past, and you're gonna be seeing some real different shifting in cities. And I think didn't they close down the mall in Frisco?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think it's the Westfield Mall.
Yeah. I literally
D-Lo or maybe they didn't close it down, but I think they're planning on. They're saying a lot of going
stores
to
closed.
Yeah.
But D-Lo wanted to go to the mall for just for his birthday, look for some stuff. And I was like, really? You want to go to the mall? And I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. Because the only reason for going was I'm going to Cinnabon.
Facts. Facts. That's the first stop.
That was the only. I was like, I'll go just because I don't go to the mall. And this is my opportunity to go to Cinnabon.
Well, see, now they got one in El Grove, so I'll be hitting that up. Yeah, over there by the Costco off of El Grove Boulevard.
I did not know. What? I be going to that Costco.
Well, hold on. Is it that one?
It ain't
it's
over
somewhere.
there.
No, I'm telling you, it's
it ain't in the parking lot with Costco because I be going there.
Maybe it's not in that one.
Okay,
but it's over there somewhere.
Cinnabon though, I ain't gonna lie. We got to the mall. It was like you said, empty. Ain't nobody up in there. And the Cinnabon wasn't even that big. Remember how Cinnabon used to fill the whole box?
I'm tripping. It's off of Bruceville.
I told you.
Yeah, Bruceville.
It's
somewhere in El Grove.
But yeah, the Cinnabon didn't even fill up the whole box. I opened the box. The Cinnabon was in the middle. I'm like, what is this?
Nah, see, you be playing. Nah, I be picking mine.
I'm like, what happened? How I get this little itty bitty?
Nah, I be like, hey, no, that one. Right there. That one. I'm paying for it. Don't be trying to skip me and give me a little small one that's in the middle. Now I need the corner.
Small one.
I need the corner and your little scooper. I need to make sure you put a little more frosting on top.
I felt the way because I was like, first of all, who goes to the mall? But now that I know that they got one in Elk Grove, now you done ruined my whole little diet plan.
I'm about to say, yeah, it's dangerous for me too. Because only reason I go to get a Cinnabon is if I'm going to the mall. Yeah. I have no other reason to go to the mall.
That's why I never feel a way about like, oh, this is off my plan or whatever, because I never go to the mall anyway. So it's like, this is the one time out of, 6 months? If I ever come back to the mall.
I think the one in Elk Grove is like, it's a Cinnabon and a, what's that pretzel place? Auntie something?
Auntie Annie's. I don't know what people see in Auntie Annie's.
People be loving their pretzels. I don't like, to me, they overrated.
I never understood the hype.
Yeah,
never.
Cool. Well, actually, it depends on what kind of pretzel. If it's hot and it got the cinnamon around it, I rock with that one. But I never
got the hype of Auntie Annie's and hot dog on a stick.
No, hot dog on a stick.
Like, what are y'all seeing this?
I don't be eating no hot dog, so I'm cool.
Only other mall place that I used to be on was Mrs. Fields.
Mrs. Fields.
I go get them
used
cookies.
To hit. God, man.
Mrs. Fields is Cinnabon, but hot dog on a stick, Auntie Annie's, y'all tripping.
Man, they had a peanut butter dream bar at Mrs. Fields. God, that was so good. I'm so mad that they closed that down.
How do we get here?
But you know what? But there's a spot in the mall now. It's called Spider Monkeys.
Oh, I ain't heard of that.
They do beignets. Oh my God.
Okay.
God, they so good.
I missed that.
They good. They right when you walk into the walkway, right across from Jamba Juice and hot dog on the stick in there. Like that little area. Like
that's probably why I ain't seen it, because I just be walking right on past.
Nah, man, they got beignets and they go to work.
I miss the days.
They
like,
hella good.
Bring back I do want to bring back going to the mall and going to the food court to eat. Like that used to be like a thing, like an event.
For y'all that be trying to look for some cheap dates, just go to the mall.
Oh, here we go.
Just go to the mall.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I'm
with
saying?
These low budget dates again.
Look. Y'all want quality or y'all want quantity?
Oh Lord. If you buying me something,
look.
Don't take me to the mall just to walk around.
No,
I do that.
I didn't
we
say
used to
that.
do that in high school with our friends.
I didn't say that. I didn't say just walk around. Obviously, you're gonna go eat. Well, why would you not eat? There's places at the mall to go eat.
I'm not going here with you.
If
they don't want to go to Cheesecake, what make you think they want to go to the food court?
No. I'm not talking about the food court.
Oh, okay.
There's a
Seasons
there's a
and all
sushi
that.
restaurant. Yeah. There's a sushi restaurant. There's Seasons. I'm not a big fan of BJ's, but you can go to BJ's for a drink or two.
I hate BJ's.
Right next to the sushi place, there's like right adjacent where like the movie theater is. There's a whole bunch of restaurants in there, and the sushi place be hidden. So sushi be hidden. Girls like sushi, don't they? Most girls do.
I do.
Either sushi or tacos.
Yeah.
That's number 1 and number 2. Tacos or sushi and tacos. Anyway,
I don't know how we be getting here, but y'all know how we do.
We're gonna talk about the relationship advice a little bit later.
Yes.
That's a little bit of
Man.
it. But on topic, let's make sure that people know what we talk about today before we even get. Matter of fact, I didn't even introduce myself. G_focus.
Stef.net.
And Stef.net.
What's
good? And then we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about on today's show. So you want to stick around. I know we got a little bit off topic. You want to stick around because the main topic we're going to talk about is the T.I. and King altercation that was at the Saints and Falcons game.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people want to talk about it. A lot of people chimed in on that. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Past the end of the show, we are going to talk about a relationship advice. I think it was in regards to having friends or going on lunch dates with the coworkers, right? Okay, so coworker lunch dates. I know that's a popular topic with the work husbands and all that other stuff, right? We also going to talk about, we're going to give y'all an update on P Diddy, and we're going to talk about the Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, I don't even know how to say it. Jeannie Mai, whatever.
But before we get into that.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I just want to give everybody an overview of what we're going to talk about today. So please stick around. If y'all want to talk about any of this, but we are definitely going to talk about the T.I. and King situation.
Man,
and y'all definitely want to stick around for that.
I got some things to say.
But yes, before we get to that, I know you went to go see a movie on Thursday,
Beyonce's
right?
Renaissance movie.
Shout out to B, man, for holding down the culture.
Just off the rip, just shout out to Beyonce. Like you said, for what she's done for the culture.
What she done for the culture.
Period.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I think the Renaissance movie just really showed what a lot of these artists are lacking, not just in their stage shows.
Hey, I haven't seen it, but I'm agreeing with her. I think you don't have to see the movie to know that she pays attention to detail. She's a master of her craft,
absolutely,
and she's from the school of the Diana Rosses, the Michael Jacksons. That you have to be a performer and an artist,
Yes. And she has what a lot of these artists are missing, and why they're not having the longevity. Because she is a student first, you know what I mean? And you can see that in the way that she puts together her shows. Like, she's involved in every single aspect of her show. You know what I mean? And we already know the Renaissance tour was amazing, but like in the documentary, you really get to see how
the behind the scenes,
not just the behind the scenes, but just kind of like, she's very humble, and she's very still, like, she's all about still being connected to her roots. You know what I mean? And you can tell like what she does has a purpose behind it. And the purpose is not just going viral or money grab or getting to the bag. You know what I mean? It's about building legacy, building her artistry, and like really contributing something to the music. Like, you know, when you look at the Princes and the Michael Jacksons and the Tina Turners and those people, they left a lasting effect on the game. And you could tell that's what she's striving to do. And these other artists, they just really not looking to do that. They looking to be famous. They looking to get a bag. They looking to go viral, be the hottest thing out. It's not the same.
Yeah, well, but it's not the same because the target audience has changed.
Absolutely. And you can see that in Ari Lennox and Rod Wave. Her opening up for Rod Wave and how his fan base treats her. because she's more of an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Beyonce said it in her documentary, my voice is my instrument. This is what I'm here to perform.
Right.
Out of, before anything else. So them throwing water bottles at her and, just not really being there for her music. It really, for the art, it really kind of shows like this audience is a different type of, that audience is a different type of audience to try to entertain.
Well, that's what, I mean, and not to get off of Beyonce because we want to obviously give her flowers, but Kendrick said that.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he was struggling with putting out new music because he was like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting in all this effort and there's so many of these hidden messages and the lyricism and the art of it and people are just not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, then what's the point of me doing it?
Yeah.
What's the point of me putting in all this work into my craft? And I'm paraphrasing what he said. I'm not saying that he's like dumbing down his mark, but I get what he's saying. I'm putting in all this work and y'all are only paying attention to the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it is. It's watered down. But I think your audience will get it.
Mm-hmm.
Your audience will get it. So I think, so again, we have to give props to, to B. I know like she just dropped a new song called My House, I think it is. Have you heard it? Yeah. And like most people are like,
that was at the ending credits at the ending credits of the movie. So.
And most people are going to say they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like it, but I get what she was trying to do. And
like
again,
the whole Renaissance is a homage to house music and homage to the ballroom culture, and the LGBT community and all their contributions that pretty much just get piggybacked on and stole from, but at the same time they're not ever gonna get they shine. So.
Well, and that song sounded more or less in the HBCU lane.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for y'all.
Yeah,
and it's okay. Like not everything has to be for the masses.
And that's what somebody was literally just saying. If your target audience is everybody, your target audience might as well be nobody. Yeah. And that's the truth.
Well, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. If you're a mainstream artist, then yes, you should be tailoring your music to the let me take that back. Mm-hmm. If you are a mainstream entertainer, then you are going to have to cater to the masses. If you are an artist, you should do whatever it is that you want to put out. Mm-hmm. And your fan base should align with whatever it is that your art is. But sometimes your fan base doesn't, but it doesn't matter. I think artists have to be selfish and make music for themselves. Mm-hmm. And then see if people connect with you. Because if they connect with you, it's more authentic. But when you're putting out purpose. If you're putting out a song just to be a hit, the classification of a hit is being streamed by multiple different people. But it depends on where you're at. If you're an artist and you're true to your art, and masses do connect with it, then it's more authentic. Mm-hmm. But if you put it out because you just want to get your streaming numbers up, then you're going to get that as well. So
Beyonce is to a place, even like she said in the movie, I don't have anything else to prove. And that's just it. I could do what I want to do. Like, I don't have nothing else to prove. Like, I've already broken all the barriers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have nothing else to prove. She can put out whatever she want to put out.
And to me, that's the best place for you to be in. Mm-hmm. Is to be in a place where you have the freedom to create the way you want to create. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, most artists don't have that freedom.
Yeah.
And we've seen in her career where she didn't have that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You had to hit a number. Because, like, people got to realize this is a business.
Mm-hmm.
If people are putting millions and millions of dollars into you, they want a return on their investment. You can't just say, I'm going to just do whatever I want to do. No, there's people that will clear the records, clear the album, make sure this is the hit that's going out. This is the song that's going out.
This is a single.
And I think at the beginning, maybe she didn't have that. But as she got bigger and more creative and, you can say that now she has more freedom because she's not really chasing hits, but it's what she wants to do. But again, there is a thought process behind it. And at the end of the day, you still want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So there can be both. But I applaud her in her space of being creative and being free. And I wish more artists were to do that. And that's why I applauded Andre 3000 for making the album he wanted to make.
Yeah. You see Wayne responded to me, I got so much stuff to say, and I was just disappointed. I'm like, bruh, that's you.
Yeah. But I get what Wayne is saying, though. Like, you still have things to say. You are in a different stage of life. It's not that you don't have anything to say. I think he just feels like maybe that it won't. And I don't want to speak for Andre, but maybe in rap or in hip hop, maybe he felt like maybe he wouldn't be accepted. I think it would be dope to hear later older men in their later 40s, whatever, talk about what it is like that. But if it's not, but what Andre said, if it wasn't, it didn't feel authentic.
Yeah, if it don't, then
so if it don't feel
do it.
authentic, then don't do it. But I don't want it. Like, I get what Wayne is saying. I like what Wayne said in general, to not let age be a barrier for you to be able to create art.
Mm-hmm.
Age shouldn't be a barrier. But I get what Andre was saying, that it felt forced.
It's not a barrier in him creating art. It's a barrier in him creating the art that people want to see from him, because he don't want to do that.
Or, well, no, even he just said he had nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it was what people want to hear from him. I think he just, again, he said he did not feel authentic in the art that he was thinking of creating. And if that's okay, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because you can hear that. I can hear when people are being inauthentic or just in the studio just to be in the studio. So I'm all for him making the album that he wanted to make. And I think that's dope. Like I said, breaking down barriers.
To it a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I like it.
I listened to it once. I'm probably never gonna ever listen to it ever again. But I don't listen to that kind of music. So it's not that I don't like it. It's just, that's just not my lane. And it's okay. It's okay not to like something, but it's okay to still appreciate it as art. And that is his art. And he has the right to create it the same way that Beyonce has the right to create whatever it is she wants to create. And guess what? You don't have to like it. Mm-mm. And I don't think she cares if you do.
I mean, it's really that simple.
So same way, y'all ain't gonna like every episode that we do. And guess what? I don't care.
And I think too, like, when you're being authentic to yourself, it don't matter. You know what I mean? It's been opinions that I've gotten dragged for, but I don't care, because it was, you know what I mean? It was genuine.
At the time,
it was a genuine.
It was what you thought, and it was your opinion. And opinions may change. I may be convinced otherwise. But at that time, when I released it, what I said is what I said.
But I feel like where people get to a place where when you're doing things for views, or you're doing things and it's not authentic to you, and then when you get backlash, or you kind of feel away, but it's like, that's what you put out. That's your bad.
I don't care.
If you know what I'm saying, like, you got to stay true to you. Like,
we don't do it for the views.
I don't. So
I even stopped checking the numbers. I just record. Now, I mean, I check it every now and again, but I'm not looking at it like, oh man, we did good on this episode, we need to do this again. Like, no, it's its own entity. It's its own piece of art. It is what it is. It stands on its own. And there's been time people disagree with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what? You're supposed to, you know what? But you're supposed to disagree with me.
Yeah, that's the point of why we made this podcast. So that's the part where it's kind of like you have to be open and ready for that, because we created this to open up conversation. And you don't open up conversation by everybody just agreeing.
Not everybody's going to agree. And
but you have a purpose for what you're doing.
Right.
So it's easy for you to stay, in your lane.
You got to stick to the purpose. Yeah. And not chase the numbers.
If it's aligning with the purpose, you're good.
And there's times where people have disagreed, and I'm like, you know what? That was a good point. And that's fine. You should be changing your mind.
That's critical thinking.
But at the same time, I don't care if y'all don't like it. I really don't care. Because it's not for y'all.
Yeah.
This is for me. And people got to be a little more self. It's for me, but it's for me to share my opinions so that way we can open up dialogue. Mm-hmm. Because if that was the case, I would just be going on the internet, looking on Twitter, seeing what everybody's saying on Twitter, and then just repeating what everybody says. And there's a lot of podcasts that be doing that.
That's facts.
And there's a lot of podcasts that be picking the most egregious thing to say so that way they can get clickbait, even though that's what y'all be accusing us of doing that.
Right.
And that ain't what we be doing.
Y'all be accusing us of doing that, but at the end of the day, there's only a certain amount that you could put in a clip. Like, that's just facts.
No. They be accusing us of specifically saying something so that way we can get views.
No, that's what I'm saying. It seems like that because you're only seeing one part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bro, if you don't want to watch the rest of the episode, that's on you. But it's only so much you can include.
It is what it is. I don't care. Y'all already know how I am. Some of y'all look, again, like I told y'all before, I was raised in the Yahoo chat. Y'all are new to this, to this internet shit. I know how the internet work. That's why I don't be tripping. Like, y'all be commenting and it be 50 little. I don't care about them little 50 little comments. tagging me in it, talking about, oh, you this nigga. I appreciate the love and I appreciate the engagement, but you're not gonna get me to act out of character. That's the number one rule on the internet is do not act out of character, and do not get mad. If you get mad, then you already lost.
I guess
it is. You know it is. That's why people be trolling. People be trolling to try to get people to be mad.
Yeah.
And then when they act emotional, then they're like, you mad.
Well, some people can't really get engagement with people without that. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. Like I've said it to so many people in the Reverb Nation. Like some of y'all just be coming up in there trying to get reactions out of people because you can't get engagement. You'll have nothing of substance to add to the conversation.
Other than, that's what I'm saying. You're trying to troll to get a reaction, to get people to be mad, and then
because I mean, nobody responds to you any other way.
No,
unless you come up in here
saying something egregious,
saying something crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I'm gonna call y'all out every single time.
Yeah, and we can engage in a conversation. I just know how the internet works. I've been here long enough. I was raised in it. The trolling don't faze me.
And my thing is like, it'd be funny when y'all be like, "Oh, you're mad," or this is my group. I'm an admin. If I was that mad, I would just delete it. Like, well, bro, why would I sit?
And to me, even if you're mad, I have a right to be mad.
Like, I would have just deleted it and put you on.
I have a right to be mad.
I'll put you on post approval, and then I have to prove like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Or suspend you.
Like, it's crazy. Like what people be doing on Clubhouse, we was doing that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You had a mic, you went into a Yahoo chat, y'all were talking, you were sharing opinions, and you would either get roasted out of there or you would get validated and like you stood your ground. And
bro,
like,
nothing is new.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nothing is new.
Nah. Y'all too sensitive out here. But
nothing is
and when
new.
I say y'all, I ain't talking about the fans that been down with us from day one. I'm talking about the trolls that be coming in and be thinking that the all the red pill niggas that be trying to come up on the page and calling me simps and all other kind of stuff. That's the niggas I be talking about. But anyway,
they can't stand me, but we ain't gonna get into that.
That's a whole nother conversation. So Diddy, man, Diddy. So what was the
So the thing about the Diddy.
No. Hold on. What did we predict last week or the last episode? I think what I said was that that people are going to come out more people are going to come out, which they have. Mm-hmm. A bunch of people came out. And I think it obviously had to tie down with the deadline.
Yeah.
Right. And not only Diddy, Jamie Foxx, a couple other people were accused. Mm-hmm. Right. And we predicted more people come out, which they did. I remember what I said. I said that it's going to get hot and then it's going to fizzle out. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the seat is hot for sure.
It's hot. The block is hot.
But I still do not think that this is going to ruin him. I think he's going by the playbook and he's keeping quiet. And I think it's going to obviously affect some of his business. But I think ultimately, I don't think it's really going to affect him much.
Well, I mean, he stepped down from Revolt.
Temporarily.
Macy's dropped Sean John, or they not renewing the contract.
I didn't even know Sean John was even
I
still
showed
in
it, and I was like, what?
Last I thought it was in Ross.
I guess Macy, I think it made like a comeback. I remember that it had made like a comeback because they did a release with like because I got some Sean John stuff. They did like this like limited release thing. Okay, so then I think Macy's picked it up like, okay, Sean John coming back.
Yeah.
I think Diddy had like bought it back and some more stuff. Yeah,
because didn't he sell it? He sold it.
Yeah,
right?
he had sold it, but then he had bought it back.
Bought it back. So when he bought it back, that's when it got back. And then it
made like a resurgence. Okay. So I didn't really know what it was doing, but Macy's dropped Sean John or is not renewing the contract.
Didn't even know
I think he stepped down or cut ties with the school that he opened.
Yeah.
So I mean, stuff like that. Like, of course, people are going to distance themselves from him.
Yeah.
He already, I think, was not involved with the De Leon anymore. I think they had already
the tequila. Yeah.
The tequila. I think they already was cutting ties. I guess he was suing.
He was upset because they were not. I guess because the agave plants, I guess that's where you get tequila, right? Mm-hmm. I guess the agave plants that were supposed to be reserved for him, they were not reserving it, and he felt like he was getting the cold shoulder in that.
They basically wasn't giving what they had promised, so Correct. He was already suing them.
Yep.
So I don't know. So I don't like.
This is my thought. If we are still open to hearing from Kanye West, we will still be open to hear from Diddy. Kanye West has burnt every single bridge available ever. And he got backlash now for the Vulture song.
Oh, I haven't heard it, but
he had an anti-Semitic lyric in there where he said that how could he be anti-Semitic when he's effing a Jewish bee?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so like you said,
so what I'm saying is, cancel culture is a myth. There is no cancel culture. There's none. There is only one person I can think of, maybe one. It's not real.
It depends on how big you are. But with Diddy, I feel like cancel culture is not real because the people who have the money are the people who have the power, not really us. Everybody be like, oh, the consumer. But this is the thing. There would be nothing to consume if these people did not do business with them. They're going to back off of Diddy for right now.
Correct.
Then they're going to be back. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, didn't Adidas come back to Kanye?
Yep.
So there would be nothing to consume.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So,
and people will always want an opportunity, and Diddy has the platform to provide an opportunity.
Yeah.
The one thing that came out of this was I did not know. I forgot his name. That one of his sons is not his son.
Is that true? I don't know.
That was floating around.
I don't know if it's true.
Okay, so we have to. I gotta look into that. So let me. So one of the people that came up was one of his former artists, Mark Curry. And he had this to say, and then we're gonna go through some little questions. But I want to just play this clip just for context. So hold on, make sure this is up.
My name is Mark Curry. You know, I'm a former bad boy recording artist. A lot of people, you know, I made a lot of hits for Puff.
How do you feel about these lawsuits accusing Diddy of abuse? What do you think about that? You knowing Diddy, do you think he's capable of doing that, man?
Do I think? Yeah. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, you know, what makes him. I seen fights between, where he have an argument, fight with a female, whatever it may be. I seen it with my own friends. But sometimes you say, you know, we all go through things, but once you have a sign of doing it over and over and over again, that's when it becomes a problem. You be like, so every relationship that you get in, you're violent in them. Mm-hmm. I was around when Cassie was there. I knew Kim Porter before I knew Puff. I met Misa, but you know, it was a history. When you have a history of the same thing, man, it becomes a problem.
And speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust her nose, man. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity. My name is Mark.
That's crazy.
Gotta stop. Gotta stop.
I don't like that shit. For sure, bro. I don't like that shit.
So
that's crazy. He ain't saying nothing that we already wasn't thinking of.
No, but hearing it from somebody who was around gives more validity, and he's not somebody that I would think would lie. He has no reason to lie. So the question that I have is, did the culture let down Kim Porter and Cassie? And when I say culture, what I mean is obviously Diddy is a representation or is a representative of the culture, has pushed the culture forward. And there have been a lot of people in and out of the bad boy camps that have eaten off of Diddy, that have done work with Diddy, that have put together music, hip hop, shows, all of that, that have been around to see this. And obviously he has been a witness of it. So, and we'll ask the second part of the question, but as a culture, do we, I guess, maybe let women down? Do we, and more specifically though, but Kim Porter and Cassie, because obviously people have witnessed this.
Well, I mean, people, I guess in the sense of people still doing business with somebody that they know this about. Mm-hmm. But I mean, as a culture, as far as like us consuming, rumors to me is one thing. Like,
I see. Yeah, let me be. I'm not
you know
talking
what I mean.
about.
So it's
I'm
kind of
not
like
I'm not talking about the
on that
consumers.
end. I don't feel like
No,
I feel
no.
like more so the people. I said it before.
Yeah.
The people, they're not being canceled because the people in power, the people that have money, are going to continue to do business with them. So that's why they're not canceled. They're still going to continue to get funding. They're still going to get endorsement deals. They're still going to, knowing all these things about them, and the people knowing this about them in the industry, they're still going to get those things. So women aren't necessarily the gatekeepers. It's men. And most men feel like, when it comes to business, that's not my business. Even in their friendships, a lot of times, that's not my business. What you do in your personal life, that ain't got nothing to do with business.
Do you think power and abuse go hand in hand?
It can. Too much.
Too much.
I mean, there wouldn't be a need for balance of power if you know what I mean?
I would
balance
say
of power
I would
is there
say
for a reason.
power without accountability definitely breeds a ground for abuse.
Absolutely.
Because
Whether not
because-
even just with abuse of people, abuse of anything.
No,
I feel like
I'm
a lot
talking
of
about
people
I'm talking about abuse all the way around the board.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You could be
Yeah.
abusing drugs. You could be abusing because you have too much power and no accountability. And nobody is going to tell you, no, bro, you wrong.
Yeah. So who do you feel like is more responsible in situations like this, more specifically Diddy? The abuser or the enablers?
I don't know if you could say one over the other. I would say obviously the abuser because you're the one doing it. I mean, morally, I feel like morally the enablers are wrong. But you're actually doing the act.
You know what's crazy is and this may sound crazy. My original answer was the abuser. But I think I'm shifting it. I want to say the enablers. Would you they honestly really share equal responsibility? That's really the real answer.
I could go with that.
But what I want to say is would you be emboldened to do what you're doing habitually? Because he said that this was a pattern. Would you feel enabled to do that? Would you feel emboldened to do that if there was not an environment that was allowing you to do it? All it would have took was somebody to say, look, bro, that's not cool. Somebody did step up. Nobody spoke up. So over, what is it, 2023? Let's just say 96.
I'm trying
Let's
to
just
think.
say, so 27 years of nobody saying nothing?
I wouldn't say this is the thing. We don't know that nobody said nothing.
I'm talking about publicly.
Well, I mean, as far as
And you know what? And let me not say it. I'm sorry. Because Mark Curry did come out and he did have a book. And he did detail some of the abuse in the book from Kim Porter. So he has, like, because some people are like, oh, he's trying to get a money grab. No. This is not the first time that he said this before. This is, but as a culture.
I mean, I'm talking about, but somebody of power. And that's the thing. Like, if I don't, like, you could speak out all day long.
Right. That's true.
She just spoke out. And like you said, it's going to die down. He's going to go back to being able to do business as usual. So it's like, I would feel like, to me, it would have to be taboo and shunned in the industry for you to be stopped.
And that's what the original question was did the culture let them down? As a culture, why is that okay? Why is that entertained? Why is that we turn to, like you said, like, that's not my business, and we turn a blind eye to it, and it's like, well, he gonna do whatever it is he wanted gonna do, and me not saying nothing ain't gonna change nothing. As a culture, that should not,
because they benefit from him.
and that's part of, and that's where the power, unchecked power and abuse come into play, because it's at some point later down the line, I may need him. And I don't want to piss him off, so I'm not going to say nothing about this, which is very eerily similar to R. Kelly. How many people along the way helped R. Kelly do what he was doing and kept their mouths quiet? But now all of a sudden, when it's now out publicly, now everybody, oh yeah, I got a story and this and that. Like, I think, what's his name? Old boy from Stomp the Yard. What's his name?
Columbus Short.
Columbus Short came out and he had a story. I'm like, bruh, where are you?
Because I feel like what people like that, they feel like all my story is gonna do is stop my bag. It's not gonna stop you from doing nothing. It's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I really believe that's how people look. It's just going to, I'm just gonna end my career.
Well, his story.
You know what I'm saying?
His story was he said that there was one night that Diddy was asking where he was at, and he said he didn't see him at one of the award shows, and asked him where he was at, and I guess he said he was laying in bed with his wife, and then Columbus said that Diddy invited him over to his hotel, and then he said, "Oh, you know who's all over there?" He said, "It's just me," like insinuating that I guess Diddy was trying to try him. Like, for one, I don't believe you. Columbus has been, I don't know what's going on with him. But number two, like, why that information? Why would that? What does that got to do with what's going on right now?
Because they did say that he was messing with young boys and stuff like that. And again, it was that
As
interview.
far as
What's
you're
the name?
talking about,
It
as
was-
far as grooming and abuse, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, they was saying
Okay.
that they what's one thing that what's advice that you have for the industry? Don't go to take that man.
Oh, that's right, with the usher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so, like,
because we did talk about that.
it
Okay,
is,
I can see why that would be tied.
He's been tied to men too. So I mean, I believe it. I don't put nothing past nobody. But my thing is, like I said, I feel like most people don't speak out because they know it's not going to go nowhere, and all they're gonna do is stop they career.
See, but I think more men need to start speaking out.
Oh well, we've been saying that,
I think more men need to be speaking out,
and that's why women are so upset when the focus is always on, well, what you doing, how you moving, well, you shouldn't have did this, and you should avoid doing this. Like, I get all of that, but it's not gonna stop at the root if men don't hold other men accountable.
And
Like, the focus can't just be on how to avoid these men.
Right.
It got to be on, we don't fuck with these men.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
As a culture, more men need to be holding more men accountable in those spaces. Because men do hold men accountable, but not, it seems like when it's the Russell Simmons, the Diddys, there's not really much accountability.
Even when it's people in your life, because I ain't gonna say no names, but I know somebody that's been accused of doing some egregious things, and nobody's like really
Checked in on them.
checked it,
Yeah.
or been like, hey bro, what's up with this?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, everybody just kind of be like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not, and just keep on moving like shit regular. Like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, those are very uncomfortable conversations, and not most people are equipped to have those conversations.
And again, it's not my business.
But it is your business. And I think we need to stop saying that, because a better you makes a better community. So what you do does affect other people. We are not individuals. You are an individual, but your individualism does get tied to the greater good. So I had to have a difficult conversation, because one of my friends was accused of doing something that was not cool, and I had to call him. And the problem, I guess, that I come into is if the person says I didn't do it, then where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Because really it's their word versus the other person's word. You know what I'm saying? So, but you still need to check the temperature. Because if the person says, oh yeah, like that happened, then you need to move accordingly. Like, you know, you already know how I move. I'm very much a man of character and morals and values and principles. And if your principles don't align with mine, I'm cool. We ain't got to talk. We ain't got to kick it. We ain't got to be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I respect everybody, but at the end of the day, I will align myself with people that have the same values as me, which is respecting women and respecting other people. So in this situation, I would like to say that if I was in a situation like that, I would have chucked the deuces.
I think
But I get it though too, that these, and again, that's why the music industry is so different, because you're taking young men that are from the projects that have never seen any money, and you're putting $1 million in their hand. So that mentality is like, you know, even in the hood, you have to protect the money. If there's a basketball player that makes it from the hood, you have to protect the money. So their mentality is Diddy's he's the cash cow. So you need to protect him at all costs, because if you cut him off, you cutting my shit off.
That's what I said. People looking out
And
for
then
themselves.
look at all the family members. Well, I don't even say even out for myself. I think some of them are looking out like they are putting their families in a better position. So I bought my mom a house because of this man. So if y'all get rid of him, then I'm not able to take care of the people that I'm taking care of. So it's this chain of power. But you got to put, again, man, you got to put morals and principles over money, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put it over money. And again, that's easier said than done. You know, if you going from one place where you in and out of prison and you sleeping on the streets, and then now you got a record deal and you got all the money and all the women that you can ever imagine. I get it. That's tough. But that's what men, hard times call for men to stand up and do what it is supposed to do. And I'm sorry, you seeing a woman getting abused, somebody should have said something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's I don't want to say it's disgusting. I think it's crazy. And I'm always weary of people when they grieve somebody too hard.
Mm-hmm.
That it's almost like, why are you grieving? Like, I always think in my head, like, did you mistreat that person?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or do you feel guilty about something? Because you going real hard about that.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was grieving Kim, it was like, bro, you wasn't even with her.
Yeah. I mean, that's the mother of your children, but
And I get that too, but it's like, I don't know. It was almost, and I'm not saying I knew. I'm just saying I always question, like, do you feel guilty about something?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and maybe it's me personally, when I treat, and this is why I try to treat everybody right. If somebody passes away, I literally usually don't have any regrets. Cause I'm like, look, I saw them as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
I spent time with them as much as I could. I respected them as much as I could. They're in a better place, and I'm able to lay my head down at night and be comfortable with where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But I can imagine, like, there have been a couple friends that have passed away that I felt some regret because I didn't do what I thought I should do.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't visit them as much as I could. So I did feel guilty. So I don't know.
It comes off as guilt.
But everybody grieves differently. So that's why I don't want to put it into a box. But I don't know. It just seemed
Performative?
It just seemed guilty.
Okay.
He seemed very guilty to me. Very guilty. Just the pictures.
Everybody put it into, that was he never, it's like, he never got to marry her. And that's why if you love somebody, you out here in these streets, it didn't seem like it was about that to me.
It felt guilty to me. Because, bro, like, you wasn't posting and talking about her while she was alive.
Crazy.
But sometimes you miss people and sometimes you regret. So, I don't want to put it into a box. Just his situation, it felt guilty to me.
I feel you on that.
So, but we all know how this is going to play out. Diddy will be back, and
I feel like he will eventually.
He will. He's tied to too much and has too much influence and has too much money. Mm-hmm. That's really what it boiled down to. Mm-hmm. That's really what it boiled down to. Now, the interesting part is what you brought up off camera was that when Cassie sued him, though, she sued the companies and not just him.
As an employee.
So that may change some things because the one thing that a company will not want to do is take on liability.
Nope.
So if
it triggers the liability insurance and they automatically gonna settle.
Correct. No, but what I'm saying is him being in place as a CEO or as a leader, they may force him out as CEO because they do not want to have any more lawsuits or anything come back on the company.
Yeah,
that may be a game changer as far as his influence. But again,
because he stepped down temporarily from Revolt, but it's a liability to put him back in his position.
Correct.
Especially it's liability to the company now.
Especially if there are other people that may come forward.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So, this will be the time for people to speak up and say something because this is when you can actually make some real damage.
I mean, you said that last episode it's going to take people to talk for this to get bigger.
Oh, for sure. And it's going to take
how big it's going to get.
And it always takes to hit a company's pockets. If you don't hit people in their pockets, then it's not going to work.
It's not with somebody with that much power.
No.
Especially not somebody with that much power.
No. So, but Diddy got so much money, Diddy could just go create another company. So, but his reputation has definitely taken a hit. But black people, you already know
his
how we
reputation has taken a hit in the public. His reputation behind the scenes, them people was, like you said,
they already knew. They already knew. Which is why, and we didn't pick up on it, but that's why the jokes of partying with Diddy, like don't go party Diddy. And then one clip popped up with that Instagram comedian.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. They told him, don't go to take that mansion.
Whatever you do, don't go there. So this has been floating around the industry for a minute.
Everybody know what you got going on.
Everybody know.
Insane.
Know. And then that clip with Fab when he was like, "Oh, Daddy, how come you ain't come party with me, Daddy?" And then Fab was like, "Nah."
A fool.
Fab was like, nah.
A fool.
Nah. Fab said, this is what Fab said.
Are you gay?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
Just a fool.
right,
like,
man.
sir.
But man, I just feel like the more power you get, the more money you get. You should be trying weird stuff like that, man. So I think a lot of that stuff is true. All right, so we're gonna transition over to
Jeezy and Jeannie Mai.
Jeannie Mai. We're gonna do a short update because I think we've touched on this.
We touched on their divorce.
But some new, and it seemed like it was gonna be amicable, and that was taking a turn for the worse.
It didn't seem like that to me.
Oh, it did to me.
It didn't seem like that to me because, again, he blindsided her with it, and it was just the weird circumstances to where I was like, I doubt she's just gonna go quietly into the night. I didn't feel like that from the jump.
I don't believe they was blindsided, but that's what she said. I think people be putting stuff out in public just to make themselves look like the victim and look better. But so he accused her of, what was it?
Gatekeeping
The child.
visitation.
Yes, gatekeeping the child. And as soon as, oh boy, custody will always turn any relationship sour.
Absolutely.
For sure. So he accused her of gatekeeping, and then she accused him of being having an adulterous affair in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in their prenuptial agreement that if there was infidelity, that would cause a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Or cause
penalty fee.
We don't know what the penalty fee is and all that other stuff. So the question is this: should there be should there be a penalty for divorce? And should prenups be mandatory in states where there are no fault states? I think let's focus on the first question first. First question is, should there be a penalty for divorce?
No. And the only reason I say that is because I don't feel like there should be a penalty because there are situations where people need to get out of a marriage. Mm-hmm. And so, again, it can't be a straight across the board like, oh, there has to be, a penalty, because if I'm in an abusive situation, I should not be penalized for trying to get out of that.
Well, not the victim.
You know what I mean?
Not the victim.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
but you don't think that the person that does the abusing should have some type of ramification?
A penalty?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Like
restitution?
So for instance, right? So we talked about this a little bit off air, right? So California is a no fault state.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use me for an example, right? Or let's not use me. Let's use John and Sally.
Mm-hmm.
John is abusing Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Sally is the breadwinner. John files for divorce, and because Sally makes more money than him, he gets alimony. He gets half of the house that Sally bought. He gets visitation. He gets 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason for the divorce is his actions, but he benefits from divorcing because of the law and because of how divorce goes. That you were entitled to half, and in some instances where if the woman or if the man makes more money, then you were entitled to child support, alimony, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a double whammy. Not only is the victim getting abused, but they're also now having to split assets, pay for child support, pay for alimony, when the person that caused the divorce is the one that is most benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Should there be, if you are the reason for the divorce, should you also benefit from it if you're not, when I say equal, not, you know what I mean?
Well, that I could agree with. So basically, like, you do not benefit from us splitting as far as the assets. I would agree with that. If you're not at fault in why the divorce is happening, I would agree that the court should take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I definitely believe so. Why not?
Well, that's what I feel like it should, because obviously we think about marriage differently, right? But not everybody shares those same values.
Mm-hmm.
So there are situations where people are using marriage as a come up, right? Marry a rich person. Typically it's a woman marrying a rich man and then not honoring the marriage, leaving, and then leaving with half.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I guess that's why prenups are so important. So So I guess the second part of that then would be.
So basically, if you're leaving with no reason, because sometimes, like you said, people get married just so they can divorce and get half.
Right.
So if you leave it for like there's no fault on either end, the no fault divorce, or you're the reason for the divorce, then that should be taken into consideration in the asset split.
I think maybe penalty was probably the wrong word. I think what you're saying sounds better. That who is at fault should be taken into consideration into the judgment or the resolution. I feel like obviously if nobody's at fault, then that's to your own devices. Whatever agreement you had, if you had no agreement in place, then you have to go by the land of the law.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because how can you determine, like, how can you factor in, if nobody's at fault, then how can you factor that in?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it would be like, it would be hard for you to determine who should get penalized and who shouldn't.
Well, the person who's filing, because what you filing for? If there's no fault and you just filing because you want to just do a move and it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then
I agree with that.
maybe, you know what I'm saying? You're filing, you have no reason, so.
I agree with that. But unfortunately, the way that the Constitution is that they can't hinder the pursuit of happiness. So somebody could say, well, hey, I'm not happy, so I have the right to pursue my happiness. And me not being.
Well, you could pursue that happiness without half that money.
Yeah.
Go pursue that bag.
Yeah. See, but that's why, like, and it's kind of a catch-22. Like, that's why I understand, like, in some cultures, why they do a bride price. Because it's like, this gives you more incentive for you to be actually intentional about you wanting to be married. Like, you're not going to just ask for my daughter's hand in marriage without giving up something. Because you can easily marry her, divorce her, and then give her back to me. And then culturally, that makes her less valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving my daughter up, but at the same time, then that also breeds a culture of control. Like, I bought her. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I get it, but it's like,
Then I know.
But then I'm like, no, you ain't going to be giving me no money and then thinking that you can do whatever you want to do with her.
Like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So, but I do feel like, but there should be, I don't know. I think, and at some later date, I will expose and give my personal views on this because I'm going through something similar. I think there should be some type of, I think divorce is too easy. I think that's what, especially in California, like, well, Sacramento County specifically has a 1-day divorce program.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Some states there's like a waiting period. So that way you look, y'all need to think about this before y'all go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like just as a culture, and if you look at the percentages, it is way too easy. It's way too easy. It's way too easy. Like it's it's almost harder for you to get married than it is for you to.
Because you got to go get your marriage license. You got to,
You know what I'm saying? So the second part of that is in regards to prenups. So
should it be mandatory?
Should prenups be mandatory in no fault states? Or should prenups be mandatory, period?
No, it's kind of like that whole, it reminds me of the whole notion of paternity test being mandatory, whether you married or not.
I'm not against that. I'm not against that. After watching Paternity Court, I'm definitely not against that. Now, I feel like obviously there's most people in those situations. I think that's like the exception to the rule. Most people know. But I have friends, I ain't gonna say that. I know people that thought they knew who their biological parents were and did not find out until they were well into their adulthood. And to me, that's why I would say I would make it mandatory, especially with people that are having to pay. I think it should be mandatory if you are getting put on child support.
It is.
Is it? No. If you put your name on the birth certificate, you are the parent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you put your name on the birth certificate, that's different.
Yeah.
But like if your name's not on the birth certificate
name is
and
not,
I go to file
yes.
for child support, they're gonna want to paternity test.
Yes.
But
yes,
if you sign the birth certificate, don't matter.
Yeah. So that's why I say I think it should be as far as the paternity. I think that could be something that's mandatory, just to ensure that there is no.
I don't know. I'm not with it for paternity. I guess I could see it, but I'm not with the mandatory prenups. Cause I don't know. Like I personally always seen prenups as you just preparing for it not to work out, but at the same time, I understand protecting your assets. So
I felt-
I
you
don't
know
know. I'm
what?
like on the fence with that.
I felt like that too, but I think the prenup could be structured in a way like this. It doesn't have to be like, in the event that we split up, I get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. It could be simple as, if there's any infidelity in this marriage, then these are this is that. There is no this, there is no this, there's no splitting, there's no that. Like, you basically leave with whatever you came in with.
Maybe because when we got married, we didn't have nothing, so I can't feel it. Like, but I guess I could if I had like a business or this or that.
Well, but now though. Well, no, I get what you're saying.
Because we
you guys
built it
didn't have-
together,
you guys
so
built it together.
it would be
that's-
fair to split it down the middle.
So that's different.
You get what I'm saying? But like, if you coming in and you got, already have your businesses established, you already got all this stuff going, you got your home, this and that. I get it. I guess I could understand. But I don't know. With me, I just feel like you really got to be all in.
For sure.
I
But a
gotta be all in.
prenup, but a prenup doesn't mean that you're not all in though.
It feels like that to me.
Because I think because you're thinking of it as, if we divorce, this is how we're going to split everything up. So in the event of,
Yeah, that's
right?
what it is.
My thing of it is in a no fault state, a prenup could just be as simple as, if there is these are my deal
Were you
breakers.
preparing for that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it's preparing for it. I think it's you setting a boundary. Like, bruh, like, I will be there till death do us part. But
the
if
vow
you-
ain't the boundary.
That's what I'm saying.
When you stood up there and said it, that wasn't setting the boundary right there. Like,
Well, not to
Till
some
death
people.
do us
Well,
part,
How many
sickness
people?
and health.
How many people say vows and still getting divorced? That's obviously not the boundary to them. And for me, because of my religious standpoint is you have two. There's only two ways you can divorce: it's infidelity, or if you were abandoned by somebody that does not believe in God. Those two things. So my thing of it is, if I were to get married in those situations, look, we're gonna have an agreement on what it is you leave with and what it is that I leave with. I'm not planning on these things happening, but at the same time, if you gonna cheat on me, no, I'm not going to. Especially when you have assets to protect. If I have assets to protect, these assets are to help build the family and build the marriage.
mm-hmm.
And if you decide to step out of the marriage, why should you be entitled to benefiting from that? You broke the vow, so now you want to then benefit from the resources that were designed for the marriage? That to me is more crazy than saying we're not going to have an agreement in place, because in situations like I said with John and Sally, if John is cheating or John abuses Sally, but Sally is the breadwinner and came in with all these resources, John benefits. If a woman marries a man that was sleeping on a mama's couch, had no job, no nothing, no car, no nothing, and she helps him get everything that he got, and then he cheated on her, he gets to take half the house, the car, the money, split all of those assets. To me, that's not fair. That's just not fair for somebody to share and be coming into the marriage and to give all that they wanted, to make, like, really come with an honest effort to say, look, I'm sharing all of the stuff that I'm giving you. And then a person to make a bad decision and then say, I'm out, but I'm taking all of the stuff that you gave me plus what you came in here with.
I mean, that's
But at the same time-
that's kind of the same thing that I was saying when Tyler Perry was like, if he could only pay the light bill. And that's all I was
Absolutely.
saying. Like, why
Absolutely.
go in these situations unequally yoked? Like, y'all telling people to,
absolutely.
you got to find somebody that's, unequally yoked with you if you really want to find, like, no.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like that makes sense.
I totally agree. And that's why I told you, I agree with you that no, bare minimum, no, we don't do bare minimum. Bare minimum shouldn't be paying the light bill.
That's why I didn't agree with that.
No.
They ate me up on it.
But at the same time, that's why I'm also a proponent for pre-engagement counseling. Before you even do any kind of investing, before you do any kind of time and resources and buying rings and buying dresses and buying tuxes and getting venues, you really need to know who you're talking to and what you're dealing with beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And people can fake it in therapy. People can fake it in premarital, pre-count. But at least you have more, like, like, your decision and your commitment should not be going. Your commitment should not be based on your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Your commitment should be based off of the information.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know about this person?
Mm-hmm.
Where did they come from? What's their background? How were they raised? So, and in this situation with Jeezy and them, it seemed like it was more like, oh, we're the interracial couple.
Yeah,
like,
they definitely was raised different.
you know what I'm saying? So, and that was one of the reasons, from what I remember, what Jeezy was saying on the divorce, was how they were going to raise their daughter, the traditions, all of that. And it's like, y'all didn't have that conversation?
I told you, I was like, kids gonna expose they're going to expose your values. I feel like a lot of times money do it, but kids do it even more.
Money, marriage, kids.
Because you're very, very that's one thing people ain't gonna play about is their kids. And so it's one thing how we operate when it's just us, but then now that I got another life to worry about, this is somebody in my hands. Well, it just really makes it be like, I can't get with this.
But it's cute though. Like when you dating, it's cute for be Christian and Muslim. Oh, let's share our beliefs. What do you believe? What? And you focus on what do you have in common. Oh, so what do we have in common? You don't focus on the differences until now it's time to, okay, well, am I taking my child to the church or am I taking my child to the mosque? Well, no, they got to go here. Well, no, they got to go. Now you focus on
celebrate this. They can't do that.
Now you focusing on the differences instead of trying to blend it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's when you are in quote unquote love or when you're in infatuation, you have these rosy glasses on where you're looking at everything positively instead of like, nah, I really need to think down the line, like, and ask the tough questions up front. How do you see if, first of all, do you want children? Yeah, I want children. Okay, cool. How do you envision raising your children? What kind of household would you want? And we need to be more okay with knowing you can like somebody, but they might not be a good fit.
I've been saying that.
You may have,
because everybody always want to look at on paper what this person has. Y'all not looking for good people because y'all passing up. That might not be my match. Like, right. I don't care how good you look on paper or how good of a person you think you are, a good partner you think you are. We still might not align, and that's okay.
But what I'm saying is people are focused on chemistry and the vibe. You can have chemistry with somebody that's a bad match, bad fit, right? And you need to not focus on how they make you feel. You need to focus on, like you said, do we align? How do you feel like about money? How do you deal with money? How do you want to raise your children? How do you feel about interracial relationships? Like, those are the tough questions that people don't want to ask because you want to just be in the pocket of vibing. And then you vibe your way into a relationship, and then you vibe your way into a marriage. And then when you get married, then it's now all these expectations come up. And it's like, oh, well, why ain't you cooking? Well, I haven't cooked the whole relationship. Yeah, but you a wife now. Or why ain't you doing this? Why ain't you fixing stuff? Why ain't you taking out the trash? Well, I didn't take out. It's like, because you was so vibey the whole relationship, you ain't paying attention to what this man or what this woman was doing.
Ain't paying attention.
Ain't cooked the whole relationship, but now that y'all married, now you expecting her to be a housewife. If you wanted a housewife, then you should have got a housewife from the beginning. And that does not the Bible say that a man that finds a wife finds a good thing? Okay, so if you find a wife, that means she was a wife before you got married. Same thing with husbands. If you want a good husband, what characters or how does he carry himself before he's a husband? Light switch ain't gonna just change as soon as the ring get put on.
I've been saying that. You marrying the person that's in front of you. You can't marry potential because there is a chance that they may never become fully potential.
No.
So you gotta, whoever is standing in front of you right now, you have to ask yourself, can I be with this person if they don't reach their full potential or what I believe they could be, or
if they
what they
change.
say they're gonna, or if they don't change.
If they don't change.
You know what I mean? Like, if those things don't change, can I see myself being with this person, raising children with this person? You know what I mean? You can't be in the mindset of, oh, well, when he becomes a father, he'll definitely probably no, because he might not. Then what?
And you can project. You can obviously look forward to people growing, but like we said before in this podcast, your core principles or your core principles, those typically do not change.
They might or might not.
And to me, it's crazy. Like, we hear these stories of these women that will marry or get with men that don't take care of their kids, and then be surprised when the man don't take care of the kids that they got to get. If the man wasn't taking care of the kids before, why do you think he's going to take care of the kids now?
Yep. That was like a big source of contention for me and my husband, like back when we was like dating in like college, because like the way he moved when we were like just dating and talking, it did not sit right with my spirit. And he's like, oh, well, when I'm single, I'm single. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. But how you was moving when we was dating, it literally went into our relationship because I already don't trust you. Like, you've already sowed all these seeds of mistrust on the cusp of I'm single. But to me, it was speaking to your character. You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden it's supposed to be like, oh, well, the title changed and now I'm a different person now. And I couldn't.
No.
I'm like, I don't trust you already. Like,
No.
And so like that was a big thing. Cause I'm like, I know that you're a good person, but the way you moving and the way you've moved in the past, it just didn't sit right in my spirit. So that that was like the end of our relationship before it really got started the first time because.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think people need to realize that character is more important than the character is more important than the vibe.
Yeah, and I'm like I couldn't see past that. And I wasn't wrong. And I mean, in a way, he wasn't wrong either because he was doing what he was supposed to do. It just, I couldn't accept it at that point.
There's still a way to be and I'm not talking down on him because I don't know what happened. But there's a way to be single and still be of a person of character. You know what I'm saying? Like up front, hey, look, this is what it is. These are my intentions. I'm putting it on the table to see if you are okay with that and see if you're not okay with that.
Yeah.
Period. Like, you know, when Photo B was on here, like we used to talk about dating other people, polygamy, all that stuff. That needs to be said at the very beginning.
Right.
I'm looking for a polygamous relationship. Not I'm dating you and then trying to manipulate you into a polygamous relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like try to like contort. Yeah, no, tell them up front. And then so that way the person, and most of the time you would be surprised at what some of the people say. Like, hey, I'm yeah. With it. Or just tell them, look, I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to smash. Okay. Well, hey, that's what I'm looking for too. Like, you got to give people the opportunity to know what your intentions are.
A lot of times though with dudes, like it'd be funny because I've seen the memes where it'd be like, I ain't looking for nothing. I'm not looking for a relationship, but all they do is relationship shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you honestly, I feel like if as somebody, if you say you're not looking for a relationship, you got to move a certain way. Because I feel like dudes move a certain way because they want to try to keep the female around. They want to stay ingratiated with her. And it's like, you making it worse.
Or just want companionship. I think that's what some people just don't know how to say that. Like, I don't want a relationship, but I want companionship. Then just say that.
Yep.
I want somebody I can go on dates with from time to time.
That's it.
Say that.
But I'm not finna be on the phone with you all night. I'm not finna be your shoulder to cry on all the time. I'm not you know what I'm saying?
No,
like, come on now, you're doing too much.
I understand.
You're doing too much.
Which is why you got
blurring the lines.
Which is why you have to set some boundaries. But as far as their situation, I feel like I'm on the fence as far as the prenups go. Because I'm with you. I feel like you going in already having those kind of conversations. I think.
I'll take that back because we have had those conversations though. Because I do think it is important, but
I understand.
So what's the difference?
It's
like now you think about it, having the conversations versus putting it on paper. Because like we've already said, if anything was ever happen, we want to do 50-50. If we had kids, we want to do 50-50. So it's like you still kind of talked about it. So what's the difference between actually putting it on paper?
Well, I think two can be true though. I think one could say divorce is not on the table, right? But these are my boundaries in the marriage. These are the only, and again, if your values align, it should be the same. That if these things were to happen, I would have to strongly consider it. And under those pretenses, this is what that would look like.
Yeah, so I guess I can't say I'm against it because I mean we've talked about it because I mean I'm a proponent of you got to talk about everything
for sure, but
everything you could think of to talk about.
But I also am against people looking at marriage as a contract or a business proposition, and I think some of those conversations can definitely turn into that. Like, if I do this, then you get this. If you get this, then I get this. It's like, but now it's more like a transaction. Like, it's not like a covenant. So. And it's sad that we have to even get to this place, but I mean, it's just so rampant that you know, and we're seeing a situation here where but now it's getting nasty because she didn't say nothing about infidelity until he said something about the being a gatekeeper.
You know, I don't put nothing past rappers when it come to cheating. No. So I believe believe she might be keeping the kids from her, and I believe he could have cheated. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
both.
A lot of people are saying like, oh well, if Jeezy cheated, why was he the one to file for divorce? Why she didn't file for divorce? She may have wanted to work it out. Not everybody ends their divorce or their relationship because of infidelity. I've said before that you can get past. I believe you can get past infidelity in a marriage, but that doesn't automatically mean that he's innocent because she didn't.
No.
If he did it, she would have filed for divorce.
There
No.
are situations where the person that was adulterous is the one that files for divorce because they want out of the marriage.
Mm-hmm. You could have had an affair and now you want to go off with that person, or now you don't. You know what I'm saying? See it with your partner no more. That could be
very much
the case too.
Could very much be the case.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't necessarily believe that he didn't. I don't know.
It's possible. It's definitely possible, especially if you already checked out of the marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and hopefully she has proof. If she has proof, then she has a case. But I don't know. She's in a hurt place, so she may have just been saying it. But
I think it's crazy to have a penalty in your prenup that if you cheat, I get paid. Like, that's crazy. That's why I'm like, prenups just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like,
yeah,
you planning for what? Like, that's crazy. And a lot of that's like common. I think Justin Timberlake and Jessica Alba, they got that in there.
When you have, for one, when you're in the industry they're in, and when you have the amount of money and assets that they have, the first thing they'll tell you is that you have to protect yourself.
And I even heard that there's a payment for, I don't know if it's true, but with Jay-Z and Beyonce, they were saying like each kid, if they were married for 10 years, she get this much money. If they have this many kids, like, it's crazy, all the things that they put in these prenups.
See, but for them, theirs was definitely more of a business relationship.
That's, I'm like,
so I'm not surprised.
How you get paid per kid you have, and what?
That's
Crazy. Weird to me. I'm sorry.
But on the back end, you see people like the situation with like Britney Spears, where was she paying Kevin Federline alimony?
She was paying him child support, and
that's what I'm saying. So
he even tried to move to Hawaii to try to get it extended.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you end up in a situation where people that will take advantage of you. Because once you get in that space, then people start getting in the ear, and you're like, oh, well, did you know you can get this and you can get this and oh, you can get alimony? And it's like, now it's like you being greedy instead of like, just like, all right, like, I'm going to move on. Like, now you're like, nah, this is your payday.
I understand alimony in cases where, like, you see people get married and then the wife will be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh,
We've been married for
sure
15, 20 years, and now we're getting divorced. I am entitled
for sure
to some of that money, period, because the pension, all of that, because I have not been working and getting my own pension or whatever. I've been taking care of our house and our household and business and stuff like that. I understand that.
I agree with that.
Period. Until you get married again. That makes sense.
I agree with that. Yep.
But again, like you said, it kind of gets perverted where people are using it, you know, and you have to be able to, like California, you have to be able to maintain lifestyle, especially if you have kids. So like, you can't be living in a mansion and they live in an apartment. The kid has to have equal, like, it has to be equitable on both ends. So you would have to then pay that person to be able to maintain the same lifestyle.
That's why hypergamy is such a big thing, because again, some of these women they just want the lifestyle. They want the lifestyle. So they'll marry a man that makes this money, divorce him, and then say, look, but you got to upkeep my lifestyle.
Yep. And that's why, to me, it'd be crazy when people be complaining, like, I can't believe this celebrity is paying this amount of money. That amount of money for them is not the equivalent to you paying,
for sure,
$200 a month. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, you comparing it to your budget versus their budget. And then also, again, what comes with having children with a celebrity. Yeah. Like, they probably gonna be going to private school. They probably gonna need security. They're probably gonna need to be in a more secure home and location, gated community. Like, it's stuff that comes with that. Now
it's the upkeep. And I think people don't realize, like, they'll say, oh, well, it doesn't cost that much money to maintain a child. It's not maintaining the child, it's maintaining the lifestyle that the child had from the previous. So that way there's no interruption in that. So, and
there's no interruption. You can't, they're like, oh, well, you go get a job. And it's like, even if they did, it ain't gonna equate.
Yeah.
But it's a sad, sad thing. You know, you just hate to see it, because a lot of times the children are the ones who be in the middle.
Yeah. And
like
unfortunately,
with the gatekeeping,
and now, like, you're just doing too much. And unfortunately, we kind of saw from the beginning, you guys got married for the wrong reasons. Like, she, you know, the whole black meat, dark meat on the side comment, like, that should have been a red flag. But Anyway, we want to do music or want to do relations? Oh, T.I. Dang
We
it.
forgot about T.I. and King.
T.I. and King, man. I'm about to just go on to the end of the episode. Okay, T.I. and King. Very important conversation.
Man.
All right, let me get to the clip first. So this is the clip that kind of brought us to where we are at in this. So I'll just kind of give a little brief synopsis. So they were at the Falcons and Saints game, and T.I., Tiny, and King got into a argument over, basically, to paraphrase, King asserting his manhood and saying that he was not spoiled as a child and that he grew up in the hood, and I guess he said something about he woke up with roaches on his face, and then that triggered Tiny and T.I. to say you were spoiled, you had a silver spoon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like we all, like this conversation has happened multiple times. So we're going to play this, and then I got another clip to play as well. But I'm going to play this so that way you kind of get the all together. I'm sure you guys have seen this or heard this.
Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. So there it goes.
in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
had some in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in their face.
roach in your ear?
Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he said that he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did
I'm
have
out.
a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandma's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
Neighborhood. I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Cause he can suck and pacify over there till he was 12 years old. He was suck and pacify till he was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
He cried like a baby, hold his breath to go over there.
Yeah.
They trying to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't gonna tell you everything like that. They trying to hide it.
Ain't nobody hiding it.
He capping. He know I stand on business. He know that. Ain't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on
I don't
business.
feel like you stand on business. He
Yeah.
said,
I've been stood on business. I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see. I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. Like, you ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do.
You was behind that till you cried.
No, I got too much to drink. I done drunk too much. Drunk too much. Let's go. Get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other shit. Like this being shit. This being shit. No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. You over here flat.
Let me just say this. If I was cussing at my parents like how he's cussing at his parents, that would have been the end of the live.
Well, you already see. This telling me all I need to know. Go
That would
ahead.
have been the end of the live.
You're capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. You capping. I know. I know you. You capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about his
I know you though.
man.
I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. Man, what is you talking
Man, get
about?
off me, like, what the fuck? Man, get off me,
Well, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't shit you can do with me.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
All right. I want to play this other clip because I think context is important. This is from their reality show. Was it Friends, Family, and Business or something like that? Or Family Business, something like that. I want to play this clip. So this is him arguing about going to a private school.
King, how you doing in school?
That school just honestly sucks.
It's the whole school that sucks.
But you want to know what we do know?
What?
Homeschool would be better because you can't.
Oh, child.
No, what are you saying? No, this is beneficial for me. I can work whenever I want to and then get right in the studio.
King can talk people into being homeschooled. Everybody, he's very convincing. And I applaud him from that. It just, he can't convince me.
I had homeschool too. I mean, I get it.
You had a record deal, and you had a hit record.
But how you know I won't get one?
Bad.
You ain't put in enough work yet.
I need my career to start now because if it don't start
Brother,
now, then I'm gonna be rushing to get it later.
You don't say when it's time for your career to start.
Baby. No,
You ain't
that
put
don't-
in the work.
You don't know.
You a child.
But there's childs out there making more money than me.
Children, see that's why you need to be in school.
You don't understand.
You got plenty.
I want to make a name for myself.
You
I don't want to.
You gonna make a name for yourself. You
But
gonna
let
make a
him
name.
do what he doing. Don't try to stop him.
Quit babying him. Let him go through it. There's a certain structure and discipline that comes with school that King definitely needs. That's part of the journey. You can't do it for him. His mama can't do it for him. His mama can't do it for him. Neither can I.
I don't think Tip realizes that King is really serious about creating music. I mean, we want all our kids to get out there and do what they do. But as a parent, you're torn because you want to make sure they keep their ass in school and get good grades.
I'm fighting for what I want, and I'm
Well,
finally
keep
getting it.
fighting, young man. Keep fighting. Ain't gonna do nothing but make a man out you.
Don't cry.
What is you still trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do. Stop coddling him.
I wanted to give context to that because that's his childhood, what he was arguing against.
But even with that clip, they've already said that they literally came. They would come together to record, and he lived with his grandma even then when they was recording that show. He didn't live with them.
Mm-hmm.
They would come over on, to film basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to factor that in when we talking about celebrity kids. I know we always want to have these conversations, from our perspective as kids and the parenting. It's different being a celebrity kid, or even to the point of how it's different being a PK. And stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's different.
It's different.
So, of course, the things that he's asking for seem unreasonable on TV, but we know that's probably that's a lifestyle that celebrity kids live.
Especially when you see that you have the resources to give it to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying.
And a lot of people, even in regular life, whatever you want to call it, in regular life, they do the same thing to their kids. When they have the resources, they still want to make them work for it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that, it's wrong, but like T.I. was saying, you're not ready. Right. Even if I have the resources to give it to you, if I know you're not ready for it, I'm doing you a disservice.
Right.
Even though I have the resources.
Right. Yep, I agree with that. I feel like, and we'll talk about the first clip, but I want to just touch on that. I feel like as a parent, though, saying you're not ready is also a disservice.
Yeah.
Give him a path.
Yeah.
You're not ready now, but if you do X, Y, and Z, then we'll start incorporating that into your day.
Yeah, because he's saying
I'll give you an
school
hour.
is going to give you the structure.
Your household is supposed to give him the structure.
Yeah.
But I get what he's saying, that he needs to be disciplined, he needs to be structured. But at the same time, if his passion is music, I get why King was crying, because he's like, you don't understand, like, this is something I really want to do. So my thing of it is, you can do both. Your school will determine how much free time you have to then go record. Simple. If you get all A's and all B's on the weekend, if you want to record for 2 hours, I will open up the studio for 2 hours for you to record. That to me is a simple solution.
Yep.
But that's not what I mean. And again, we can't compare childhoods, but that's how it was for me. Like, I wanted to play Nintendo. My playing Nintendo was determined on how I did in school. If I was not doing good in school, video game got put up. If I wanted to play video, you know what I mean? So, you know, and obviously, say I'm not comparing my childhood to the Kings, but I understand as a child, like I'm not so far removed that I can understand expressing a passion and feeling like I'm not understood or I'm not supported. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I've had a conversation with my parents about that later on in life. I was like, man, like I really wanted to do this, and I kept asking, and y'all kept telling me no. And now I kind of, you know, I regret that because it's like I felt like if I would have done it then, I would be further along now where I'm at now. And they're like, well, dang, like we didn't understand that was really important to you. I'm like, well, as a kid, how do you express that? And that's what, you know, that's what Tiny was saying.
They express it by crying and being upset. Like, again, so it's like people got to, these are kids.
Yeah, and Tiny was telling them, like, I don't think T.I. realizes how passionate he is about doing this. And you just saying you not ready, you just a kid, where does that leave somebody?
I feel like mothers know. You know what I'm saying? And fathers
but
are
an explanation. Like, give an explanation to you're not ready because you're not ready.
But you gotta think, in our culture, becoming a man or becoming an adult is always associated with having to have hardships and having, like, I feel like parents want to be that, I'm gonna tell you no because the world gonna tell you no. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of times, like, we feel like characters only built through adversity, which
for the most part
is tested through adversity.
But I
feel like there's other ways. Like I've even been talking about it in therapy. Of our culture is built a lot on shame. It's built a lot on tough love. You know what I mean? I'm doing this because I love you, or you know, all that kind of stuff.
Or I went through it, so you got to go through it.
So you got to go through it.
Yeah.
It's like suffering, pain, shame. Those are the things that are used to shape, and fear, a big one.
So let me ask you this then. So what do you feel like Black parents take tough love too far?
Absolutely. They OD sometimes. OD. It has a time and a place, and I feel like it's literally kind of just like the baseline in a lot of times. Literally. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you can't always shame and fear and, you know what I'm saying, tough love somebody into, I think that's the easiest way to get somebody to bend to your will and do what you want them to do. And so Black people rest on that. The other shit take too much work. You know what I'm saying? If I can make you scared of me, that's easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's way easier to get you to do what I want you to do. But then you get to an age when, okay, I'm not scared of you no more. So now what?
And I think that's what we that's
where he at.
That's what we saw in the first clip is so in situations like that. So how do we deal with adult children?
Because I'm not scared of you no more. So now what?
And I'm 18 and I feel like I'm a grown man.
Or I don't have to depend on you no more. No relationship. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of somebody had just said it online. They said you can tell if somebody's parenting is successful by how their relationship with their adult kids is. Because your kids might be doing all they supposed, even if they getting straight A's and B's and this and that. When they become adults, that's when the truth comes out. Because now at this point, I'm not dependent on you anymore. I don't have to have a relationship with you anymore.
I don't have to hold my tongue.
Don't have to hold my tongue no more.
I don't have to be around you. Yeah. That's true.
That's where the truth really comes. That's where you really gonna see. That's why everybody thinking that they parenting is they doing the best. You might be doing the best that you think that you can do, but the truth, you really not seeing the results till the end.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound controversial, or people are not gonna agree with me, because I know a lot of people sided with T.I. and Tiny on this, which I'm not saying I don't, but
I didn't.
I do to a degree. But I want to say this, though. When you have a strong-willed child, you have to deal with them differently. And you may need to give them a little bit more freedom. You cannot force them to be this, like, you're going against what their spirit, right? And strong-willed children make good leaders. And what's more interesting to me is, T.I. is looking at himself in the mirror. You were that kid. You were out running the streets, doing what you want to do. So I know he wants better, but it's almost like you're almost like crushing his spirit. But I also get it too, though. Like some of the stuff King was talking about, like, oh, I wanted to be outside. I get it as a parent. It's like, I did all that, and I've put you in a situation where you don't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talked about generational wealth and all that other stuff. Like, we always talk about, oh, I started from the bottom. But then in the same breath, we'll say, oh, what I want my children to have a better life, and I want generational wealth. You can't have it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So King should be appreciative of what he has, but at the same time, I get it, though, because if T.I. is gatekeeping and saying, well, you're not ready, well, make him ready. Like, what are you putting in place? Well, for one, what do you need to see for him to be ready? That's number one. Number two, like I said before, can you not have both? Can you not have a structured environment with rewards or with something that will give him something to say, okay, this is a tangible goal that I can reach? Because you can lead and you can motivate by two ways. There's intrinsic motivation and there's extrinsic motivation. Mm-hmm. Extrinsic motivation is, if you get straight A's, you get $100. Mm-hmm. So there's something tangible, right? Intrinsic motivation is saying, like, what is your purpose in life? What do you want to be? Oh, I want to be this. Okay, look. So if you are this, you becoming this will help out the world and make you a better community. Like, it's a bigger than me goal, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing of it is has anybody, and most parents, I can only speak for Black parents because I don't know how other households go. Well, actually, I would say most other households don't have this conversation either. There is never a conversation that is led by intrinsic motivation. Mm-mm. What do you want to be? What is your purpose? What makes you most excited? What can you do for hours that you just lose time and you don't, like, you look up and you lost? Like, what are those things that really motivate you? And we will find a way to put you in a space where you can be that. Mm-hmm. Not school, homework, chores. And if you do all those things, then you get an allowance. That's extrinsic. Mm-hmm. So then all you're teaching them to be is to either be a good employee or you're teaching them to just follow the rules and be compliant. Mm-hmm. But are you tapping into who that child is as a
not Black people? Because I tell you who you're supposed to be.
But it's not just Black people.
I brought you in the world.
Chinese, Indian.
Well, I can't speak for them.
Well, I'm telling you just from what I've heard, because it's the same thing. Like Indians, you're either a doctor, lawyer, doctor, dentist.
Well, I know that, but I'm talking about Black people.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Black people we talking about Black people.
Yeah.
Black people are of the mindset of, I brought you in the world, I could take you out. They tell you who you were supposed to be, right, and they're raising you to be this type of person, this type of whatever,
right,
and that's just what it is.
Right.
They're not necessarily and you could see it of how they try to parent all their kids exactly the same, and all their kids is different people. They're not really trying to understand who their kids are as a person. Like, you're raising a person, you're not just raising your child.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how they look at it. Like, it's like almost like property.
Right. So for me, that's where, if there's an indictment on T.I.'s and Tiny's parenting, or the grandma's parenting, whoever was parenting him, that's the indictment. Mm-hmm. You see that he's different. You see that school maybe not be what he want to do. And I'm not saying that he should not go to school, but what I'm saying is that you have to know the bend or the spirit of your child. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to give them a little bit of that to make, not even a little bit. If you have a child that's artistic, yeah, is the status quo, go to school, get a degree? Sure. But that may not be that child's path. Mm-hmm. And you crush their spirit when you don't support their dreams and support that. And just because you don't think it's going to work out doesn't mean that it's not going to work out. And even if it doesn't work out, don't you think they would be happier if they pursued that? Especially when you have the resources.
Like, I feel like with them though, I know he want to pursue music, but at the same time, like you said, he's in the hype of wanting to be outside, wanting to be a part of basically the culture that you are a part of, and that you are glorified. You're glorifying this lifestyle, but you telling me, oh, but you got to go to private school. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what you're putting out in your persona in the public, mm-hmm, you get what I'm saying?
And that's a whole nother side of it.
And that's what he's saying.
That's a whole nother side of it, because yes, you are glorifying it, but then yet you're telling me that I cannot do it. And again, that is a conversation. Mm-hmm. Like Fat Joe, there's a clip from Fat Joe that said he's been lying in 95% of his raps for the last 30 years. Now, he could be saying it because he don't want to get hit with the RICO cases and things of that nature. But I would say that is probably a good representation of most rappers. That you glorify it and you sell it to our children, but then when it comes to your children, that they too good enough and you don't want them doing what you rapping about. So that's another side of it. That's why I do side with T.I. and Tiny, because what you are trying to pursue is a road down destruction. But then the real question is, well, then why are you promoting it?
And then everybody else, I feel like one thing that I didn't like was how people act towards what they deem a problem child. Like, y'all be so ready to throw our kids away.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and T.I. is on record for saying that he is a bad child multiple times. And later on in that clip, King literally he said, well, if I was a mistake, then why didn't you just say that? Or if I was a problem, why didn't you just say that? I think he said it was a mistake. So he has and usually, I think King is the baby, right? I think he's the baby.
Yeah.
Most times, the last child, and I'm not saying all of them, but most time they are the most sensitive, and especially if it's unplanned or whatever, they feel like you guys didn't even want me, right? So that's a whole nother dynamic.
Everybody ready to throw that little boy away. Mind you, I'm like, he 18. And then too, like somebody was saying, like, he's not doing nothing different than a lot of other people did.
Right.
He is looking for
identity,
validation, and he's looking to fit in.
He's looking for identity, and he's looking for validation.
And he's looking for it in the wrong places. You know what I mean? In the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know necessarily what their family life was, but we know what was perpetuated in the music. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, and then he's been in other altercations as well prior to this with other people. So, and we don't know all the behind the scenes. We can only see what is portrayed on camera. But
another issue is that our culture overly glorifies getting it out the mud, and you know what I'm saying? Like I've dealt with that a lot growing up, where people was like, oh, well, your mom helped you get a car, or you had this, or you had that. Like, it's a knock. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people,
what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Like, a lot of people feel like, to be respected in our culture,
you have to be self-made.
You have to be self-made, or you have to have had some type, again, like I said, hardship, suffering, pain. Like, that's what we glorify, and that's what we respect of, it's one thing, like, if you'll see one person graduated college, did all that, so like, okay, that's nice. But if you was a single mom with one leg, and you know what I'm saying? Like, then it's like, oh yeah, she did that. She did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
But in the same breath, we talk about generational wealth. That's what I'm saying. It's contradictory.
Very contradictory.
So which one is it?
You don't respect people who had too much, but you want your kids to have, like, make it make sense.
That's what I'm saying. It's our culture is contradictory. We celebrate the people that make it on their own, but then we say, man, like, we so behind generationally. Like, if we just helped each other in group economics, and if we did trust, and we passed down property, and this and this and that, but you're not giving the. I think the
all
biggest
the time. I've even seen it on the Housewives shows. Oh, you inherited that house. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
So what? I was supposed to.
Like, it literally,
but really,
it's literally mind-boggling to me.
But it's the crab in the bucket mentality.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. My parents didn't do it for me, so I'm gonna make you feel bad that your parents did it for you.
And then be like,
so that way,
like,
because then it makes me feel better about my situation.
But they be saying these kids is entitled, they this, they that, and they spoiled, they privileged. You should want to be raising privileged children.
Well,
that's crazy to me.
And sometimes spoiled is not in a negative connotation. If I'm blessed, I'm going to spoil my children. But I do get the connotation of spoiled as far as, like, character.
Yeah, your kids can have character and still be privileged. And people don't think it goes hand in hand. They feel like if you have not suffered, that you're not going to have good character.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like, you can have good character and be privileged. Like, you wonder why, these people be out here being and doing in these things that a lot of times they ain't not even qualified to do. It's because they got audacity.
Well, it's the
and we don't have none.
It's the Carlton Banks syndrome. That's what it is. That if you're too privileged, if you're too educated, if you speak a certain way, that then it's like you lose. Like, we think blackness is synonymous with struggle.
Exactly.
And that's the problem, is we think that you are not authentically black if you have not struggled. But yet then we say black people are not a monolith, that we need to get rid of the generational curses, but yet we continually tie struggle and blackness together.
And struggle and blackness. Absolutely.
Yep. So that's why we
You ain't
celebrate.
black enough.
That's why we celebrate the Jay-Z's and the T.I.'s when we make it from struggle, but then yet we make fun of King for being silver spooned. But that's what he was supposed to do. I was supposed to give you the silver spoon.
And of course, these kids push and want to be outside, and you see the new news from ATL that want to go back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what is glorified in our culture. And if you want to be connected and feel connected to our culture,
You have to.
that's what you want to align with.
You have to get the stripes. Which you
That's
can,
sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And but you can still be. Yeah, that we're gonna have to have that. That's a deeper conversation. Culture does not, and again, culture should not be tied to struggle. You can be like, you know what I'm saying? But I think because we're descended of slaves, I think American culture is, because across the globe, nowhere else, I don't think it's like that.
I don't know.
Because if you're African or if you're Nigerian or if you, that is your culture. It's your heritage. It's your ethnicity. It's your food, right? It's your clothing. That's your culture. For us, all of our culture is tied to struggle. Slave food, right? Ribs, soul food, pigs, right? That comes from the plantation. Wearing your best on Sunday to church. That's a slave mentality thing, because the slave owner used to have the slaves wear their best outfits to show them off to the other slave owners. So a lot of our tradition and culture is tied to struggle, or is tied to, coming from humble beginnings. But it's 2023, and we got to start trying to change that a little bit.
And y'all keep asking the question, why do privileged kids always want to act like they from the hood or align themselves with the hood? Is because our culture is
always synonymous with struggle.
With struggling.
Yeah. Which is why the hip hop songs like Juicy and things like that, that's why those are so big songs, because it's songs about coming from nothing and then making it to something. And if you think about all the prominent rappers that we all love, they all have that same story. 50 Cent, Jay-Z,
and the ones that don't, the Drakes, that was a knock on him in the beginning.
Well,
he was authentic with it, and I respect that, but it was kind of like the Degrassi nigga, like, you know what I'm saying?
At first it was, but then he was smart and flipped it to being like, I was the underdog, but now, I was kind of unassuming, but now I'm getting bigger, and like I think people grew with him.
Yeah, that's why I said he made it work for him. But at the end of the day, I'm like, even though I liked him, I didn't see him having a career. I was like, he ain't gonna make it.
That was the knock at first, was like, you the acting, you from Canada, like, what you gonna talk about? Yeah, and you
got to be able to talk about struggle, or nobody want to hear it.
But to his credit, he talked about struggling with women and getting women and relationship with women. So it wasn't really much of the traditional, I came from the hood, now I made it. It was more, he got the women on his side, and then when the women got on the side, then it was like, oh well, men want to be around women, so if y'all listen to Drake, I'm gonna listen to Drake too.
He made it work.
Plus, he had the singing. Singing helped him with that too, though, because it was more like it was a singing dude that can rap and not a rapper that can sing. So he, it was smart marketing. He went in his
Missy Elliott bag.
It was smart. Before we transition to the next, I want to just ask this question: is it natural for young men to challenge authority?
I guess so.
I think if you are not a parent, or if you are a parent and you have a young man, if you have a child, you need to be prepared for that, because a young man switching from teenage years or from adolescence into adulthood, they are going to challenge your authority.
Yeah, that's why I ain't got no kids, so I don't.
They're going to, or if you grew up in a household with brothers, you know that. You've seen it.
I grew up in a house with my brother.
Yeah, see, that is normal. That's normal. And I don't think it should be normal, but it is normal, because you are trying to establish your identity, your dominance, your manhood.
Right.
So you are going to challenge the man that's of the house. Whether it be verbally or whether it be physically, and obviously they did both. So, and I'm sure that's probably not the last.
But even you can see like the dynamic of their relationship already is just like you said, he cussing them out and all, cussing at them or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He was feeling himself. But later after that, they recorded the show together where they did, like, I think it's called The GOAT, where they were doing the GOAT TV show. So I mean, they they were able to mend things up.
And one thing that I did want to point out is like this was to me regular family struggle.
It is.
Like
It's
I don't
just- we just
like
saw
I
it.
understand that people saw it. It's like, oh my God. I'm just kind of like I've seen these kind of arguments in my own family. I've
sure.
seen it with you
Everybody
know what I'm
has.
saying? Like the struggle between mom and
Everybody
daughter
has.
and son. And, like, come on now. Like this is not nothing off the wall.
It's just public.
Just public.
That's
And people
all.
could judge and act like they ain't got no issues in their own family.
Yeah.
You know, their family's perfect.
That's just public.
Come on now.
And King got to stop going live.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Like, I would have been cut that live off. As soon as the pacifier comment came out, all right, y'all, look.
All right, I'm out.
Oh, and let me say this. Parents got to stop doing that.
Yeah. Blast naked. That's why I said the dynamic of that. Oh, he just playing like, no. And that's one thing in the black community too. A lot of times parents be people's first bullies.
Humbling your kids by purposely embarrassing you in front of company is not cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you doing it on live. And Tiny knew that he was on the live.
Mm-hmm. She took the phone and got in there to say it.
Because she was embarrassed. Because she was thinking like, oh, you embarrassing us, so now I got to embarrass you. Like, you didn't have to go that route. Because that's when it got turned up. When he was like, oh, okay, so y'all trying to, you know what I mean? So I didn't like that. And, but parents be doing that. Like, company come over and like, oh, do you remember when you... I'm like, bro, seriously?
Yep.
Like, why would you say that in front of people? Like, and then be like, oh, so what's wrong with you? You just embarrassed me in front of everybody.
Well, you know, that's parents' way of toughing you up.
No, that's whack. That's lame to me.
Preparing you, you know, you got to be ready.
I'll never do that to my kids.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm with you on that.
Relationship goals? Relationship advice. Golly, I keep getting that wrong.
Man.
Or do you want to do sleepers first?
I don't got no sleeper. I got to start listening to music.
You didn't listen to the Ari Lennox? Did you listen to that?
Oh, yeah. I liked it. I don't feel like it's a sleeper. Well, you know what? She definitely is slept on.
Yeah.
I just, you know.
We're just bringing light to
Okay,
songs.
so this is the thing. The people that I roll with, we all love Ari Lennox. Like, she gets her flowers around, like, up and down my timeline. But with this whole Ride Wave situation, I'm seeing that people really is not on. That's crazy
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying. So you want to use that as a sleeper or no? I know we talked about it. Okay, so we're going to
Get
use
close.
it. Get
as
close.
a sleeper, it's a bop.
It's a bop. I do.
I'm gonna give her flowers anytime that I can because Shea Butter Baby, her first album and even her second album to me was a no skip, like,
And it's still slept on.
a vibe.
I'm gonna go with Tink 40 times. I feel like a lot of people don't respect her pen game, and unfortunately, her being in the media lately was tied to Youngberg, or not Youngberg. What's his name now? Hitmaker.
Oh yeah, that was. I forgot about that.
But her pen game, her arrangements, her songs are dope all the way around. Like, and I hate when artists get tied to drama and like you know them just based off the drama. But like Tink's pen game, like she reminds me of like definitely 90s R&B, but at like updated R&B. And I always respect people that got a nice pen game.
I was gonna say she kind of gives me like that Missy Elliott,
that Missy, Nicole Ray. That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. So I love her artistry and her pen game. So I definitely got to give Tink 40 times. It's more of a breakup song. Most of her songs are like that, but everybody has a brand. So dope song. I like it.
I'm with it.
And you got, you know, it's raining outside, so you guys already know that I'm in my R&B bag.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Relationship
we still
advice.
gonna go into relationship advice?
Yes.
We with it?
Yep. And then we're gonna end the show with the relationship advice.
All right. So the relationship advice of today is about coworker.
And this was submitted.
Yeah, this was a submitted one
by one of our listeners, fans, subscribers off of Instagram.
Y'all hit me up if y'all ever want us to discuss something.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Feel free to hit me.
If you have a relationship question, we will answer it anonymously on the air.
Yep.
And then you can check out the answer. So this is the first one that we've got that was a submission that was requested. So I want to just put that out there that we are doing that.
All right. So this one, it says, is it okay for your man to go out for drinks or lunch with a coworker that is a female? He is in a relationship and the woman is single, or vice versa. So is it okay to go to drinks or lunch with a coworker if you are in a relationship and that person is single, male or female?
Gotta stop.
I don't like
Gotta stop.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
You already know my answer.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You said no?
Hell no. Hell nah. Well, hold on. We talking relationship? We talking about marriage?
It just said relationship.
She said relationship.
It didn't say marriage.
Let's assume that it's a committed relationship. I'm assuming this is without the person's knowledge.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It just depends. Like,
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna answer it with those two assumptions. Committed relationship, the person doesn't know about it. Hell no.
Yeah, I would say no in that
Hell
instance.
no. Hell no. For what?
Yeah.
For what? Y'all be normalizing these little work husband and work wife relationships.
Yeah.
Nah, no. What you gotta go? No, what you going to lunch with them for?
You gotta set boundaries sometimes. You know what I mean?
You can go as a group.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a group, sure, y'all all going, but no, one-on-one, y'all going on to lunch? Nuh-uh. Nope, not feeling it. Nope. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nah.
I've gone to lunch with like my boss, but like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, man.
I feel like it's different. Like, that's one of the things that my job does all the time, which I really be annoyed with, is a lot of times our raffles be like, lunch with the superintendent. No. I don't want to go to lunch with them. I mean, I love y'all to death.
When they was asking them questions about, would you take $500,000 to go to lunch with Jay-Z?
No.
$500,000.
I'd be like, please don't let me win this raffle because I don't want to go to lunch.
No.
But yeah, no.
You gotta set boundaries. And even though you may not have even if you have the correct intentions, the other person may not.
I was watching this one of the podcasts that I actually like too is Dear Future Wifey, and excuse me, he was talking about how his wife or his ex-wife was like, she was not comfortable with his female friendships, and she was like, I feel like if you were to cheat on me, it would be with one of your female friends. And he was saying it was because she knows how invested he is, in his friendships, like as far as like intimate connections and stuff like that. And he was like, sure enough, when I cheated, it was with female friends because it was that intimate connection. You know what I'm saying? So he was real about it. So again, you have to set boundaries because sometimes that may not be your intention going in, but you could be setting yourself up.
For sure.
So I'm never against setting boundaries, but I always feel like it just depends on the couple.
It depends on
the circumstances a lot of time too. So, it's not a no across the board.
And
but
you can have a platonic relationship, friendship with the coworker, but I feel like that should be known to the other partner.
Yeah, that's why I said open communication.
Maybe introduce them to the other partner. Like if there's like a work family event, like, hey, this is such and such, face to face, shaking hands, so that way this is a secret person that you have never met before, right? Because there needs to be respect there. If there's going to be that, there needs to be open, honest, transparent communication. But general rule of thumb, no.
Yeah.
No.
I feel the same way. Even like I said, I've never really been on jobs where it wasn't somebody that was in your face.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, that work husband stuff, never, not for me. Even when we weren't married.
No.
Like, that ain't cool. Like, and I'm not going to accept lunch from you when I know you want some other shit. And I think a lot of women.
That's another dynamic too. Yeah. Are you buying lunch for her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like you paying for.
No.
You got to be careful with that. And so like, it'd be different. Like I seen situations where like, I help somebody on something. They're like, I'm gonna treat you to lunch. That's cool. Like it's not always a negative thing. Like I've been in those positions where it's like, thank you for that. I got you. You know what you're trying to get.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's different.
You know what I mean? But
no,
you got to be careful
because look, you got to think about it too this way. For whoever asked that question and for those that are listening, the majority of your time you spend at work. And there's things that you go through that you feel more comfortable maybe talking to your coworker than you do the person that you're in a relationship with. So there is an opportunity. I'm not saying it always happens. There's an opportunity for emotional infidelity in that space.
If you
complaining about home at work.
Yeah,
oh man, I had a bad morning, man. My girl did this and this and that. And again, y'all got to realize you giving a blueprint to how to get to you because you complaining about the girl that you with to the girl that you talking to, and all she got to do is do what the girl ain't doing.
I feel like a lot of times when people do that is they just looking for validation. They're looking for validation on what they're feeling, and it's easier to get that with a one-sided.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's one-sided with that person. They only get my side, and I could tell them the story in a way that makes me the victim.
Yep. and even if they don't, they're always going to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want something.
Mm-hmm.
And they want your approval. So
and
you
that's
gotta
why I ain't even gonna lie. Like a lot of my husband's friends, like they'll be talking to me like, go get Stef. And they ask me because they know
you gonna tell the truth.
I'm gonna tell the truth, and I'm gonna ask more questions.
For sure.
Like you can't just set this whole story up for me to be like, oh yeah, she out of pocket. I got questions.
No.
I got what you do, what this. Like I'm gonna really make you look at it differently.
Yep.
They don't be agreeing with me, but you know they've told me, they pulled me to the side, like you know I'll be asking you because you're gonna make me think about it. You're not just gonna.
I'm the same way. I'm gonna tell you if you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. And even if and
when I
sometimes
get
it's
quiet-
not even a question of right or wrong.
No.
Because when it comes to finding a solution, right or wrong really don't matter. So I'm gonna give you, this is how you can fix it. Whether she wrong, you wrong, whatever wrong.
If you did something wrong and you gotta apologize, you do need to recognize that you were wrong though.
Oh yeah, and apologize.
In those situations. Obviously not every situation. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a solution. But I'm telling you, if you're wrong, I will tell you that you're wrong. Like there's guys that come to me, you know, my friends, and they'll tell me about a relationship situation. And I'd be like, and they'll be like, man, like, so what do you think? I'm like, bro, you got to go apologize because you're wrong. Like, I'm not gonna, man, you really, I say, yeah.
But I just noticed sometimes, like, I definitely feel like sometimes apologies are definitely needed. But I feel like a lot of times people be so focused on who right and who wrong. Like, you really just arguing who right or who wrong. You're not even looking for a solution. You just debating back and forth so we could decide who right and wrong. Like, bro, you got to get past that part of it to really get to the root sometimes.
I would say that's a problem in conflict. Conflict resolution in general, really, like for men especially, because we're very competitive. And I mean, you know, there are women that are too that want to win an argument too. But really the goal, if somebody told me this a long time ago, the goal is to have a win-win solution. So, because if you win, then the other person lost. And for men, typically when you win and your woman loses, you really lose. So
that's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose. So do you really want to be right, or do you want the situation right, or do you want to be right?
And I had to come to that conclusion for myself. It's kind of like I took a communication class though, so that's what really made me. Basically, my project was my marriage.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and so it really made me look at like, okay, you won an argument, but now what? Like
but now the environment's off.
What came from
off,
that?
He mad, you mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then when you come to the same argument again, it's because you just won the argument. You didn't come to a solution.
Yeah.
You won that round, then you wait to the next round.
Yeah.
It's like we ain't coming to no solution.
Well, and then are you creating an environment to have healthy conflict resolution in the future? If it's always who win, who loses, that's not healthy conflict resolution.
Yeah.
It's you want to come to the table to say, okay, you need to be heard, I need to be heard, and we need to come to some resolution that we're both comfortable with. That you're more willing to come to deal with conflict in that situation, because a lot of people come from households where conflict is bad. And I don't want to even I don't even want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get to a space where, again, both people are heard. I'm heard, you're heard. We deal with the conflict. But I know we're kind of getting off thing. As far as and tying this back to that, there needs to be a conversation. There needs to be transparency. There needs to be honesty.
Always.
For one, and you need to know the intention of the other person. And generally, like I'll say, no. Answer's no. No. Sorry.
I'm in the middle as always, but you know.
I'm saying generally. Obviously, there are times where you can. Like I said, I think it's okay to have I'm all for platonic friendships. We
got one.
Yeah, I'm saying. No, and we might have to ask a question too, because matter of fact, I'm gonna ask it because this might be a clip. Can you have platonic friendships as if you are in a relationship or in a marriage?
Yeah.
I know, but we don't ask the internet.
Oh, okay.
Because the internet say no.
That's crazy.
I have plenty of them.
Me too.
One of my best friends that was in my wedding is one of my best, and we have a platonic friendship. And there's never been an issue, never crossed the line, never crossed a boundary. It's been totally respectful. So y'all, some of y'all need to change the way maybe it's the definition of friends.
I think, you know what? I think it
because-
depends on their marital status. Because I feel like people are more comfortable with platonic friends when they're like, well, y'all both married, so it don't count. Because I've heard that a lot. But I'm like, when it comes to somebody being single, that's when people start questioning it. Because it's like, that person might secretly want you. But when they got somebody, people are like, they can see it.
It's all about the character.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I had platonic friendships before I was married. And you know what I mean?
It's all about the character. I would never intervene with nobody else's marriage, married or single, because I honor marriage. I just wouldn't do it. And even if they on the fence, nope.
Well, because a lot of people feel...
maybe that's what you would do if you was in that situation.
Yeah, because a lot of people have that mindset of, well, they married, I'm not. And so people do be out here messing with married people, messing with people in relationships because I'm not the one in a relationship. So, of course, if you have that type of mindset, you're not going to trust somebody to have a friend that is single.
But then that means you don't trust the person that you married to.
It's projecting. No, that means you projecting.
No, I know,
like
but
you
I'm saying,
said.
but then that means you don't trust the person that you're married to as well.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of time people be projecting their own bad character and bad integrity on their partner.
Or this as well. A lot of men feel guilty because they've slept with married women before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've slept with and you felt like I'm not the one in the relationship. Women do it too.
Yeah.
I'm not in a relationship. He is. I don't owe her nothing. He do. And then now that you're in a relationship, you have trust issues on that because you was out here moving foul. And you projecting that on other people. You believe other people will move the same. You can't believe that somebody would have a friendship with somebody that's single.
Karma will come back on you.
That too.
And that because you slept with other married women, that means that your wife is going to be sleeping with somebody else because of what you used to do. Yeah. So it's all tied to projection. So I'm in agreement with that. All right, man. That was a great show.
Man, we out here for a minute. What time is it?
No, it's 2:07.
No, I mean, what time is it?
Oh,
right
what
now?
time? What time? Well, this is the first time that we record on a Saturday morning. But yeah, thank y'all.
We appreciate y'all.
500, 10,000. We trying to get to 1,000. So, man, look, I just want to give y'all another round of applause, man.
Keep sharing, keep commenting, keep interacting.
Donate. Hold on. Nope. Nope.
Like that shit.
Donation.
There we go. There it is.
Donation.
I don't like that
Donation.
Gifts.
Nah, but we appreciate y'all,
Gifts.
man. We gonna catch y'all on the flip side. Next show, I think will be right before Christmas, right?
Yeah, I don't think we taking no break. We said we going straight through.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see when the next show. So we'll see y'all before Christmas.
All right.
We'll see y'all before. I think it'll be the Monday, that Monday right before Christmas week. So we gonna see y'all before Christmas. I was gonna say Merry Christmas, but nah.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Not quite yet. All right. And hope y'all had a happy Thanksgiving. And for those that are listening at work and on the road and all that, man, again, we appreciate it. And please, man, look, comment. Let us know what y'all think.
Yeah.
So we can react and we can talk to y'all, man. And give us some more relationship advice, man. Give us some more relationship advice.
Please.
So that way we can respond to real people instead of going through the forums.
Right,
Facebook
exactly.
and Twitter and stuff. So, all right, we out.
We out.